What is up, guys? Welcome to today's Explainer. Are you ready to completely level up your GED science score? Today, we're basically treating the GED Earth and Space Science section exactly like a video game. We are taking you from absolute zero all the way to 200. And honestly, you don't need to be some textbook genius to pass this test. You really just need the right strategy, a solid mindset, and, the ability to read the board. So today, we're zeroing in on Earth cycles and geological processes. Grab a controller, or maybe a notebook, and let's jump right in. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We're kicking off with Level 1, the water cycle. Then Level 2, the carbon cycle. Level 3 is weathering and erosion. After that, we've got the boss battle, which is an 8-question practice test. Finally, we'll wrap up with the major keys to remember and check the answer key. Let's go. All right, diving right into Level 1, the water cycle. Okay, Player 1, let's get into our very first core Earth science concept. This is totally foundational for the whole exam. Now, when you hear water cycle, you probably just picture like rain and clouds, right? But for the GED, you've got to think a little bit bigger. The official standard literally defines this as the interaction of matter between living and non-living things on Earth. It's all about how water moves from the ground, up into the atmosphere, and actually through plants and animals too. The test makers, they don't just want you memorizing random facts. They want to see if you actually get how these giant Earth systems interact in real life. So, how do we actually beat these questions? Well, the exact technique you need involves 3 super simple steps. When you see a water cycle graphic on the exam, just walk through this mental sequence. Step 1, analyze the diagram before you even read the question. Get a feel for it. Step 2, identify the living and non-living parts, so like spot the trees versus the rivers. And step 3, trace the interaction of matter. Just follow the arrows. Where's the water coming from and where's it going? If you can trace that path, you are totally gonna nail the question. Boom! Level 1 cleared. Awesome job. Let's step it up to Level 2, the carbon cycle. All right, we're turning up the complexity just a little bit here, but don't sweat it. You've totally got this. The absolute key here is understanding what carbon actually does. The carbon cycle is basically the flow of energy and matter in ecological networks. Think of carbon as the ultimate connector in the game. It connects living, biological systems, like plants capturing sunlight and animals eating those plants, to the deep earth, like when we extract and use fossil fuels. See, when we burn oil or coal, we're basically unlocking ancient, stored carbon and tossing it right back into the active system. Let's look at how this builds your overall test strategy. To decode a carbon cycle infographic, just walk through these steps. First up, spot the energy capture. Where exactly is photosynthesis happening? Second, follow the food web. Ask yourself, who is eating whom and how is that energy passing along the chain? And third, look for fossil fuels and human activity. Spotting where carbon is stored underground or released into the air by factories is basically your cheat code for getting these questions right every single time. Moving right along to Level 3, weathering and erosion. Great work making it this far. Okay, so this is probably the trickiest concept before our boss battle. A lot of people, especially if English isn't your first language, get these 2 words mixed up all the time. But here is the literal difference. Weathering is the breaking part. It's wind or water physically smashing and breaking down solid rock into tiny little pieces over time. Erosion, that's the moving part. It's the Earth processes taking those tiny broken pieces and carrying them away, kind of like a river washing dirt downstream. Weathering breaks it, erosion takes it. Seriously, lock that phrase into your brain because it's the major key to unlocking this topic on the test. All right, you've leveled up your skills, and now it's boss battle time. 8 practice questions. Let's go! Grab a piece of paper right now and write down numbers 1 through 8. Remember, I am not giving you the answers just yet. I'm here to coach you on the technique. So, question 1. What is the official passing score for each subject on the GED test? Is it A, 100, B, 145, C, 165, or D, 200? Think about the technique here. Recall the basic scoring rules we learned about, aiming for that passing baseline. You definitely don't need a perfect 200 to pass, but you do need more than a 100. Write down your guess. Moving fast, question 2. How much of the GED science test covers Earth and space science? A, 10%, B, 20%, C, 40%, or D, 50%? Let's show the work mentally here. Remember that life science and physical science are the really big, heavy chunks of the test. Earth and space is a smaller but still super crucial slice of the pie. So which percentage makes the most sense? Lock it in. Question 3. According to the standards, weathering on rock is caused by what? A. Core temperature, B. Wind or water, C. Tectonic plates, or D. Solar radiation? Analyze the question by thinking back to our Level 3 breakdown. Eliminate the answers that don't deal with surface-level breaking. Remember, weathering happens on the outside, not deep down inside the Earth. What's your answer? Question 4. What is an example of natural hazard mitigation? Is it A. Earthquakes, B. Hurricanes, C. Dikes and storm shelters, or D. High pressure? Let's break down the vocabulary. Mitigation is definitely a tough word. It basically means protection, prevention, or just making something less severe. If you know that, spotting the right answer out of these 4 is an absolute breeze. We are halfway there. Question 5. Which of the following is part of the interior structure of the Earth? A. Continental shelf, B. Mantle, C. Coral reefs, or D. Atmosphere? Talk through the logic with me real quick. The word interior literally means inside. So just eliminate the sky, eliminate the shallow ocean, and focus strictly on what is deep inside the planet. Question 6. What types of question formats appear on the GED science test? A. Only multiple choice, B. Essays only, C. Multiple choice, drag and drop and fill in the blank, or D. Verbal answers? Listen, do not panic about memorizing massive essays. The test heavily uses visual and interactive formats to test your reasoning, not just your typing speed. Pick the option that gives you that variety. Question 7. What does the chemical symbol H2O represent? A. 2 water molecules, B. 1 hydrogen and 2 oxygen atoms, C. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, or D. Helium and oxygen? Show the work by breaking down the math. That little number 2 basically acts like a multiplier for the letter right before it. So, who gets the 2 and who is flying solo? Write it down. Final boss strike. Make this one count. Question 8. What score is considered GED college ready? A. 145 to 164, B. 165 to 174, C. 175 to 200, or D. 200 plus? I'm really challenging you on this one. We established earlier what score passes the test, but what specific tier gets you college-ready status so you can skip those annoying placement tests? What do you think? Pencils down. Let's quickly review some major keys to remember. And time. Take a deep breath. Huge congratulations on surviving the boss battle. Before we score it, keep these critical study habits in your inventory. 1. Always aim for that 145 to pass. 2. Remember, Earth science is 20% of your exam. 3. Make your own diagrams. I'm serious, this is the ultimate hack. Drawing out the water and carbon cycles yourself builds insane muscle memory. 4. Practice interpreting data way more than memorizing facts. And 5. Please do not cram. Short, focused 15-minute study sessions are proven to boost your scores way faster than pulling brutal all-nighters. All right, the moment of truth. Let's check the final answer key. Drum roll, please. Let's see how many points you scored. Here we go. Q1 is B. You need 145 to pass. Q2 is B. It's 20% of the test. Q3 is B. Weathering is wind or water breaking rock. Q4 is C. Dikes and shelters are forms of mitigation. Q5 is B. The mantle is deep inside the Earth. Q6 is C. You're going to see multiple formats, like drag and drop. Q7 is C. H2O means 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. And Q8 is B. A score of 165 to 174 is college ready. Tally up your score. If you missed a few, hey, no sweat. That is exactly what practice is for. So I want to leave you with this thought. Now that you know the framework, which Earth system are you going to map out first on paper to guarantee that you easily clear that 145? Get out there and level up. See you next time.